a huge number of people suffer from atlas and axis problems. And 1 million people or more a year are going to have their atlas and axis worked on in one way or another. And the chief symptom of that is not able to turn your head, get a little bit of pinch. Well, I can turn my head this way fine, but when I try to turn and look over the oncoming traffic, I get this little pinch right here. So that's a prime symptom of trouble in, you can say, either in the atlantoaxial joint or in the obliquous inferior muscle. If the obliquous inferior is tight on this side, then its most comfortable position will be looking 45 degrees this way, like, oh, that feels great. And when I start to go this way, it gets a little tighter, and then it's tighter and tighter, and then like, can't go any further than that, because the one on this side cannot stretch and allow that ear to come farther forward. It actually pulls the spinous process of C2 over this way when this one is guarded. And so up the spine is coming up in a straight line, and then it veers over that way to the right when the right obliquous is spasming. And specialists in this field, let's say, when they want to find if this is happening, they before they'll actually treat you, they want to document it, and so they have you take an X-ray and open your mouth, and they focus that X-ray so it's shooting right through your mouth. And when you're shooting through the mouth, you would be seeing the atlas and axis, and you can see the spinous process of that axis is actually over to the right of where it ought to be. My right. This is my right. You're looking at me. Looks like left to you. Because my right obliquous is pulling the back of it over. And so here's another complicated thing. You don't have to remember right this minute, but if the back of the the spinous process of C2 goes that way, that means the front of it had to go that way because it's a rotating action. So even though the back of it is over to the right, and it's the right obliquous, it's actually spun the axis to the left. So if the axis has been rotated to the left, that's because the right obliquous has pulled the back of it over to the right. About 90% of people have some guarding in one or both obliquous. And once you get some guarding in one obliquous, then the muscles, the other rotating muscles, the sternocleidomastoid, which can pull this ear forward and down. See it popping out there? It goes from here to here, basically. So when it contracts, it pulls this closer to this. Funny face. And so if your obliquous is guarding, like you have a dream that starts guarding during the night and wants to turn your head this way, and you wake up, and then when you want to look in the mirror, you have to fire this sternocleidomastoid to pull your head back straight again, because this ear is back too far, and so this bigger, much bigger muscle will pull your head back into straight. And even though the obliquous has the perfect horizontal fiber direction for rotating the head smoothly 45 degrees to the right, its fibers are only about as thick as one strand of spaghetti. And you see how thick these fibers are. That's about as thick as a person's thumb. And so if you have a spaghetti strand against a thumb, that's going to win. And so this muscle has far more horsepower, will always win a tug of war against the little obliquous, regardless of its perfect fiber direction. I want you to be able to visualize it from all angles, like I said before. To really master this stuff, you would be visualizing two bones 3 bones with the head, some more bones with a stable base, like the guy lines of these muscles come down to. This muscle, the same mirror muscles on the back, the Splenius Capitis, which go from the same spot there, the ear basically, back to this way, which mirrors the sternocleidomastoid on the front. And the obliquus on both sides. And if you can master all of those dimensions at the same time, and imagine what happens when a head is turning, your own proprioceptors of your brain that normally, your own cerebellum normally is aware of where your body is in space, but after watching something like this, you start to gain an awareness of where another person's body is in space all the time. Like, I've done this so many times that I can like imagine there's the spinous process of C2 and here's the head, how they feel like when they're going this way, when this muscle's firing, and when this muscle's firing, and this muscle's firing. You know, all of that has built its own web in my mind now. I have the lay of the land, the map has been memorized in my cells. This video is all about the actions of the obliquus capitis inferior muscle. The ideal action, which is head rotation 45 degrees this way, the right one we can pull you that way. It comes back to its neutral position. The left one fires, takes you into rotation 45 degrees to the left. When it relaxes, you come back to neutral. If I am looking left, the left obliquus back here has come to its shortest position, but the right one has to be able to stretch its full amount to allow this motion to happen, which is a clue you'll need for later if you're going to go on to video 2, video 3, and 4. Video 2 is about assessment. And so if this one is guarded over here, it's not going to allow itself to come into its full length, and so the range of motion will stop, or at least it will become hindered and resisted, small resistance, before it gets to 45. And if the person can't turn left to 45 smoothly, if they can only turn those, say, 30 degrees or so, that would mean that there's partial guarding on the right side. But that's for a later video. And then I'll describe what you have to look forward to if you go on to the assessment of the joint video, the treatment using melting muscles technique, another form of treatment using craniosacral techniques or unwinding methods that are ultra slow motion and with the muscle impulses coming from the other person, so you feel their muscles slowly pulling to one side. And then the 5th video in the series is about home care, like what you can do for your own atlantoaxial joint at home.